All right, so today we are working on conservation of mass in our chemistry book with The Good and the Beautiful. We're doing a little lab experiment. And so what I have here in front of me is a lab notebook page. I have growing foam experiment instructions. We have a little kitchen scale, some baking soda, we have another notebook page, we have a box of balloons, some measuring tools, some baking soda, and some vinegar. So we're just working through this right now. We just went over all of the information that was placed in the textbook for us to read. We went over some of these note cards of different physicists and chemists. There's a stack of them that we go through every time we do a lesson. There's about 15 different scientists that we're learning about, just reminding ourselves of the things that they contributed to society. And we're getting ready to do this experiment. So we're gonna see what happens. All right, we'll hop back on. Okay, so we measured out 10 grams. I don't think it's gonna show up, but it was earlier. It did show us 10 grams. Let's see, milliliters. There we go. Okay, let's put that back on there. Well, it's not working right now, of course, because we're recording, but it's 10 grams of baking soda. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the balloon on the scale, just next to it. And then we're also gonna add the vinegar in the, yep, right there. And we're gonna measure what this comes out to. So it's 60 total, 60 grams. So we're gonna go ahead and write 60 grams in that spot, and then we're gonna come back.
Right here?
Okay. Step 2 was we stretched the balloon over the baking soda container, and then Michaela's gonna go ahead and empty the contents of the baking soda into the balloon. So you're just gonna take the container and you're just gonna tip it, and it's
When I take this off?
Nope, you're gonna tip it. Just tip it over. Yep, and it's just gonna go right in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And next, we're gonna do the next part. Okay, the next part was to add the balloon to the top of the vinegar solution and let it kind of hang off the side. We did lose a couple of grams, as you can see in the process, because they fell. No science experiment is ever perfect. It's supposed to be precise, but we're not scientists. We're doing our best. So, all right, we're gonna hop back on in a second and see what our next task is. All right, now we're gonna dump the contents. So you're just gonna lift the balloon up so that all the contents, ooh,
Whoa.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Oh, look at that.
But it's staying contained,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Very cool reaction happening here. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and record what we saw and record the final weight.
Oh, look, it's going into.
Yep, it's still blowing up that balloon. Very cool. All right, we're gonna record that and then we're gonna move on to our next experiment. All right, so before we wrap up for the day, I just wanted to kind of go over the different things that we use when we're using The Good and the Beautiful and how everything is kind of formatted. So for instance, if you'll notice here with the chemistry unit that I used for today, this is the old method of printing that they used. So it would be loose leaf. It comes in shrink wrap, and most people either put it in a binder or do what I did, which is I took it into Office Depot and had it spiral bound. And then you take out, the different little booklets that you're supposed to put together and assemble. I staple them, and then I just had them in here in this little manila folder. You'll see a couple of different booklets here, but I have found even since this an even better method of keeping track of everything. There are these little plastic folders that have a plastic zipper on them that are meant for paper supplies, for paper goods and things like that. I'm gonna go ahead and share that on my organization video that I'm gonna be doing soon. but I didn't have them when I put together this unit. So as you can see, I used, Ziplocs and a manila folder and whatnot. But going forward, I will be doing that for any of the loose leaf ones. But they have come up with a new method of how they are doing their science units, and they come pre-spiral bound, see, like this, and then they come with their own little student guide, so you don't have to make copies any longer. But I do still have some on hand from the older units that are loose leaf, so I will be assembling those, and I'll do that in one of my videos to come. But I just wanted to show, so when you get this unit or any of their units, what they have in the first couple pages is the supplies page. And so you can go ahead and look and see how they have 2 pages of all of the different lessons and all of the different supplies that you're going to need for every single lesson. So some people opt to, grab and go as they go along. I personally prefer to purchase all the supplies that I'm going to need for the entire unit ahead of time so that nothing catches me by surprise, and then we have to either forgo an experiment that day or push it back till another day. I like to just have everything on hand if I can. So that's how we utilize this book. The other thing that we do is I always grab a little journal for my kiddos to keep track of their vocab, as they have probably 25 different vocab words that they learn. The other thing that we used for this unit was various scientist tools, chemistry tools. I'm sorry about that. These I actually had on hand from BJU Press from when my high schoolers had used the physics unit. And I just kept them, and they just came in so handy. So I've just kept them. But if you don't have that, you can always go on Homeschool Science Tools, or maybe it's homesciencetools.com, and they have a plethora of different science tools just like that. So that is that for today. I just wanted to hop over here and show you this before wrapping up our science unit for today. All right, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed coming along with us on our little journey of doing an experiment with the Good and the Beautiful chemistry unit. We had so much fun, and I really hope that it encourages you and inspires you to just go out and get some school supplies for your science units, to sit down with your kids, to take the time to do the experiments. It is so worth every minute of effort that you put into it. Your kids will walk away with really a greater understanding of the content that they're already learning in the text. It brings it all to life. It's a great bonding experiment, and you just never know. You might have a little scientist on your hand, and you'll never know that unless you take the time to just really allow them to explore these different areas. So I pray that this blessed you today, and have a great day.